It's something I've been meaning to do for quite a long time, is take a tour around the city that I've been building for quite a while. Anyway, it got all started around here, and it was basically a test for quartz blocks when they were first added into the game. So basically these two buildings here were pretty much where it all began, and then it just sort of expanded from there. And I mean, like this little area with all the little shops and stuff was pretty much where it all started, and then I just sort of gradually moved on to bigger buildings, and like this one here, and these two actually, they're twins and they're connected together through the footbridge. And this one, I actually have never really bothered detailing the interiors, but and there's sort of future expansion, sort of the road there runs off into the distance. This particular area is actually relatively new compared to the rest. I built it a lot later, and as you can sort of see, they have like internal walkways and a sort of garden area with a little pond. And get in and out through here. And this was another relatively recent part. You can sort of see I've been experimenting a bit with different materials to see what they look like. And then we go back to another older part, such as this area with this tall building here and sort of this arcade thing, that sort of strip mall thing. There's also access in there down the mine sort of thing. Let's see. It has actually been a while since I've done anything on this map. So we'll just take the way down. And it just comes down into this tunnel area and sort of this pond, which itself is just something I've actually dug. I dug the channel for that. It comes from the creek over here. And then once I had built most of this area, I actually carried on and filled out the Riverbend district between the two bridges. More coming back and building this section here and sort of expanding that out into the stream or river or whatever would you call it. And I kind of use this as a house. If there's the original basement that's now full of redstone, and kind of shows how long it's been that you have to go looking for the path out. That allows you to lock it, and that's how you get in and out of the basement with the horse. So just chilling over there. Now enough's falling around, it's time to get over here. Here is another area with some interesting like strip buildings. Some further, like that one was based on something I saw in someone else's YouTube video of Pyropolis on the Surax server. And well, at least the exterior is, the interior is probably completely different. And this is the Heaven Club. And you know, just for a bit of fun, there's also the Hell Club down in the basement with its redstone lights and sort of red themed everything. Then we come across here into, well, the Riverbend area, which I sort of tend to perfect the square. A sort of motorway on-ramp thing. And this area is actually one of the newer districts, although a few of the buildings here are actually quite old. A lot of the stuff along this road is built in the past 6 months, 9 months. Instead of have a basement house, I do try a lot of other different things to try and keep it fresh. There's some running water somewhere, I have no idea where it is though. Now this building is actually was me testing out the world edit tools, and it's actually copied from somewhere else. And then this was another one where I was using the copy paste, or testing out the copy paste functionality. So I actually built this section here, then used the copy function to carry it on down to the end of the city here. And it's sort of based on a bit like Trellick Tower in London, which was something I saw on YouTube and thought was quite nice. Certainly interesting enough. But there's actually quite a few Easter eggs hidden in some of the buildings, like basement swimming pool, and of course the diving board, which comes down to another large basement swimming pool. And yeah, see there's also like a storage area, and at one point in there's actually lava on the other side of the wood, which caused a few fires before I figured that out and put some steel blocks in between there. Then here we have the tunnel under the river. It comes out the other side. And you sort of come on the outskirts on the side, and we're back in the Riverbend district. Then this is actually where it carried on, and all the ladders and that will sort of allow you to run around on the rooftops and sort of fool around. You can actually cover most of this section of the city just running around, from jumping from roof to roof. And yeah, that's you do have to time it perfectly, otherwise you sort of, for the most part, end up taking a fall, because it's actually sort of the maximum jump distance. And then here you can have the tall tower that I'll go to later. This is another attempt at a unique design, and such as having a tunnel through one of the buildings, and more attempts at doing interesting things with glass. And then we have this section of buildings here, which probably looks a little strange with having the two different tunnels, because this tunnel actually carries right along a series of streets with a different style of building built on top of each one, and was sort of it's all an interconnected arcade along there. There's sort of a little park area I've left open. And oh well, you can sort of see I do tend to reuse some styles more than once, although I like to put a twist on each one. Here's sort of the power station, and in through the windows I'm not actually going to go in there. You can sort of see all the boilers and machinery made out of nether brick. And along here again, this is all relatively new construction, unlike that one there, which was one of the first I built. And there's sort of future expansion area, the village that is part of that I've dubbed the old town. Now we're getting into the modern stuff, like with where I've tunneled the roads under so I can actually have a larger building, and I've used coloured coloured glass, such as a little park in the middle of the building. In here, and some more trying new materials, and again stuff like that, just to allow to where I can't go from rooftop to rooftop. Yeah, as you can see, this is as much glass as possible. And I've actually forgotten a bit here. Yeah, so the other sort of probably got left. So it was based on how would you put it? Different style. And here we have another building with a similar topping style as the other. Yes, oh, it's actually out of the draw distance now, but where I've reused the top style, but it's got different further down. Another glass walled building with black glass and sort of that shows, so you can sort of see where these blocks came in. It's where I started using the andesite and granite and prismarine blocks. And this actually was originally built on a different save, and I basically copied it over. Well, not exactly. It was built from scratch, just from memory. So it has a few changes and improvements, like the office, sort of chairman's office, and that is actually one of the few that has some interior detailing, as I usually don't bother. And then here we have is the port area, which is on the edge of the chunk from where they've changed the terrain generation. And so you see, like, there's a ship in the harbour, little rowboats, cargo in the ship, and as you can see, the dock cranes. They obviously don't do anything, but it's sort of an attempt to actually make it look like a real crane. Oh, I can't talk today. Sort of dock warehouses, and this is future expansion. Another area where this is sort of the latest construction here. Like last time I was doing some construction, I built this bit. And as you can see, another sort of factory industrial area. And then we come up another factory, and you have all the machines and lava and netherrack. It's sort of one of the few attempts at full interior detailing. And here's sort of the unfinished ones for factories that haven't built yet, and that is pretty much the whole city. You can sort of see I've been trying to get away from the absolute square, and if anyone ever went back to the absolute beginning of my YouTube channel, you'll probably find a video of me standing on one of these buildings. I think it was this one actually, and that was actually before all of this was built. I unfilled all of this. But construction work on this map is sort of an on and off thing that I do occasionally when I feel like it. So I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I'll see you some other time.